Everybody in the room said they voted. 14% turnout? No.
Good morning, sir. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll get started here in just 3 minutes.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Graham, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll kick off the State of Nevada Board of Examiners meeting scheduled for today, June 9th, 2026. The time being 10 a.m. and we will start with the roll call.
Governor Lombardo,
Here?
Attorney General Ford,
Here.
Secretary Aguilar.
Here.
Let the record reflect we have a quorum.
All right, move on to agenda item number 2, first opportunity for public comment. This period is limited to comments on items on the agenda. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this public comment period unless that matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an action item. We will impose a 3-minute time limit. And do we have any public comment there in Carson City?
No, sir.
Do we have any here in Las Vegas? Seeing none? Anybody queued on the internet or the phone? All right, we'll close the first opportunity for public comment. Move on to agenda item number 3, approval of the May 12th, 2026 meeting minutes for possible action. Do we have any questions or concerns?
Motion to approve?
We have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Did you say aye, Cisco?
Aye. Yes.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 4, state vehicle purchases for possible action. Ms. Grennemeyer.
Pursuant to NRS 334.010 and SAM 0304, no state vehicle may be purchased without prior written consent of the State Board of Examiners. This request is from the Department of Veterans Services. The department requests approval to purchase 2 vehicles for a total amount not to exceed $25,381. Are there any questions on these items?
Any questions?
No questions?
Go ahead.
Move to approve.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Move on to agenda item number 5, authorization to contract with current and or former state employees for possible action. Ms. Greenmeyer.
The first request is from the Department of Administration Purchasing Division. The department requests to contract with the current employee, Michael Friedman, to provide direct client services through a statewide contract with Supportive Living Solutions. The next request is from the Department of Administration Purchasing Division. The department requests to contract with the current employee, Randy Melvin Brown, to provide direct client services through a statewide contract with On Point Behavioral LLC. The last request is from the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Division of Environmental Protection. The department requests to contract with former employee Kelly Williams to provide subject matter expertise for biannual budget development and fiscal year-end closing processes through a statewide contract with Manpower. Are there any questions on these items?
No questions?
Move approval.
You had to find it a
Yes,
little bit better.
sir. Items 5A, B, and C.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passed. All right, let's move on to agenda item number 6, request to designate positions in state government as critical labor shortages for possible action. My understanding, Ms. Greenmeyer, that 6A is to be removed,
Yes, sir.
or 6B?
It's 6A.
So we're just changing that B to an A?
Oh, sorry, I didn't, I was just repeating your 6A. So 6A has been withdrawn by the agency. Item 6B is from the State Department of Agriculture. The department requests approval of the critical labor shortage designation for Agriculture Police Officer 2 and Agriculture Police Officer 3 positions for the period of July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2028. Are there any questions on this item?
Any questions?
Motion to approve 6B?
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Move on to agenda item number 7, request for a recommendation of approval to the interim finance committee for an allocation amount from the contingency account for possible action. Let's take those separately, Ms. Greenmeyer.
Yes, sir. There are 2 requests under this agenda item pursuant to NRS 353.268. The first request is from the Department of Human Services, Division of Public and Behavioral Health. The department requests a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation of $858,500 from the Interim Finance Committee contingency account to fund the payment of sanctions imposed by the 8th Judicial Court in Clark County. Are there any questions on this item?
Any questions?
No. Move approval.
All right.
8A,
7.
7A.
All right, we have a motion of approval for 7A. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Move on to 7B.
Okay. This request is from the Department of Human Services, Division of Public and Behavioral Health. The department requests a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation of $2,637,456 from the Interim Finance Committee contingency account to fund an unanticipated shortfall for costs of temporary medical contractors. Are there any questions on this item?
No questions?
Make a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. All right, let's move on to agenda item number 8, request for transfer from the state general fund for possible action. Ms. Hold on a second. Ms. Whittemore, yes, go ahead.
This request is from the Office of the State Treasurer, Unclaimed Property Division. Pursuant to NRS 120A.620, Section 6, the office requests approval of a temporary transfer of $50 million from the State General Fund to the Abandoned Property Trust account to allow the office to meet its obligations to pay approved property claims. Are there any questions on this item?
Any questions?
No question. Motion to approve item number 8.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. All right, moving right along to agenda item number 9, request for approval of land lease agreement. Possible action. Ms. Greenmark.
This request is from the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Division of State Lands. Pursuant to NRS 322.007, the department requests approval of a lease agreement between the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Division of State Lands, for and on behalf of the Department of Tourism and Cultural Affairs and the Boulder City Chamber of Commerce. Are there any questions on this item?
No questions. Motion to approve item number 9.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Move on to agenda item number 10, approval of proposed leases for possible action.
There are 5 leases under this agenda item for approval by the board. Are there any questions on any of these items?
Motion to approve leases 1 through 5.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Move on to agenda item number 11, approval of proposed contracts for possible action.
There are 89 contracts under this agenda item. Are there any questions on any of these items?
This motion is to approve item number 11, 1 through 89.
There you go. All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 12, approval of proposed master service agreements for possible action.
There are 42 master service agreements under this agenda item. Are there any questions on any of these?
Questions here?
None here. Move approval for all 42 under item 12.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 13, which is an information item, clerk of the board contracts.
There are 74 contracts within the threshold of $10,000 to $99,999 that were approved by the clerk of the board from April 11, 2026 through May 8, 2026. This item is informational. Are there any questions on any of these items?
Questions?
All right, no questions here. We will close item 13, move on to 14. Let's take those separate. Ms. Greenmeyer?
Okay, there are 2 reports under this agenda item. The first report is from the Governor's Finance Office Budget Division pursuant to NRS Chapter 353. The division presents a reconciled fund balance report of the following accounts as of May 11, 2026. Please note the meeting materials include specific amounts while the approximate balances are as follow. Tort Claim Fund, $439,000. Statutory Contingency Account, $3 million. Stale Claims Account, $2.3 million. Emergency Account, $412,000. Disaster Relief Account, $16.6 million. IFC Contingency Unrestricted General Fund is $44 million. IFC Contingency Unrestricted Highway Fund is $1.6 million. IFC Contingency Restricted General Fund is $102.8 million. IFC Contingency Restricted Highway Fund is $6.9 million. Extradition Coordinator, Budget Account 1002, is $821,000. This item is informational. Are there any questions on any of these?
Any questions?
No questions.
All right, no questions here. We'll move on to 14B.
Okay. This report is the statewide quarterly overtime report for the third quarter of fiscal year 2026. Pursuant to NRS 284.180, the Department of Administration, Division of Human Resource Management must prepare and submit quarterly to the Budget Division of the Office of Finance a report regarding all overtime worked by employees of the Executive Department during the quarter. This report covers the period of January 1st, 2026 through March 31st, 2026. I would note in the backup documentation, staff removed muster pay from the line graphs for the Department of Corrections for the quarters in FY26. So there is a true comparison of non-muster pay related overtime. This item is informational. Are there any questions on this item?
Yes. So, Mr. Director Zarenda, I understand that we've had a reduction in overtime costs.
Yes, drastic.
Do you have a number associated with that?
Well, the ask we're probably gonna be looking for is less than $2 million at the end of this, fiscal year. So we look like we're over our allotment of about 2 million, which was down from when I originally predicted about 53 million.
It's good. So the programs we're putting in place are working?
So, the only, negative piece, we reduced a lot of our programs that were in place that created overtime, which are going back in place right now.
Say that again?
So we had programs that we had for offenders for reentry that were actually decreased, some eliminated because it created too much overtime during the last fiscal year. Those were taken out over, and also visiting for family has been decreased from each week to every other week. That's all going to be going back in place in this fiscal year to be able to increase those programs and visits.
But we also had the issue of new hires, right?
So the new hire
training
was a large
that was
factor
supposed to
too.
help.
In the south, our vacancy rates are below 10%, most of the time below 5%. Still in the rural areas of Lovelock and Ely, they're still the same. But the drastic change in hiring in the south was what really created a lot of the billing of the overtime.
Good. Thank you for paying attention. Any questions of Mr. Zarenda? Nope. Or any other item in 14B? All right, no questions here. I believe we are moving on to the second opportunity. Public comment under item 15. Any public comment there in Carson?
No, sir.
Any here in Las Vegas? Any in the queue or on the phone? No, sir. All right, we will close the second opportunity for public comment, and I'll make a motion for adjournment. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Elections is. That is